match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I can see my fantasy, I'm so consumed in bed. What I see takes over me, I'm blind beyond repair.
I'm going to miss that song when we change our intro.
2 weeks. You good folks on this show, you're only going to hear that for 2 more weeks.
What do you mean only going to hear that for 2 more weeks? People, let me rephrase that. People, you're only going to hear that theme for 2 more weeks. Because we have a new one. And I'm very excited to share it with you. We all just left one podcast and we're right here.
We are back on.
Hi, Bree. Our 4-post massacre champion.
This is the first time we've officially announced it on anything. Up to this point, we've said, hey, you got to go watch the show, figure out who won. Bree won. So
one
good job, Bree.
Fucking point difference. It was 110 to 109. Jeremiah, again, has a 1 point difference in between him and being champion.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. You hate to see it.
Yep. The champ has arrived. Welcome to the chat, everyone. My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right,
I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jonathan Collins 3 on Twitter. You can find both of us at On a Forklift Wrestling Pod, but more importantly, below us, but never beneath us, is Russell Joy. You can find him at Joy on Broad. You can find him at It's Just Wrestling and on the Snow the Goalie podcast as well. Big Flyers news with Keith Jones being introduced as the president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Quindi,
Russ, plug your stuff.
Incredibile. Buonasera a tutte le persone. How are we doing?
Let's not talk about Philly basketball, though.
What's the coming? Now, you know what? Hold on. I'm not going to go with my Stephen A. Smith here. All right. But need I remind you?
Yep.
Right, the Philadelphia 76ers, they weren't supposed to be NBA champions. All right. They had a nice run. Then they fired their coach.
Yes, I'm very aware.
Embiid is, all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But at least they didn't set an all-time record for most points in a season.
Absolutely.
And puke all over themselves.
100%.
Like your team, the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
It could always be worse.
They blew a 4-1. They blew a 3-1 lead.
Hey, don't forget, 13 years ago, they blew a 3-0 lead.
Mm-hmm.
To your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
Don't forget that 27 years ago, the Philadelphia Flyers got swept in the Stanley Cup playoffs by my hometown team.
I don't want to be mad at you. By the way, that Let's Go Panthers, I kind of agree.
I'm here for it.
I'm rooting for the Kraken.
They're already out.
They're out.
I know. I'm still rooting for them.
I'm just rooting for them to get home safely. I'm just rooting for them to have a nice night.
I had my playoff bracket set to be the Kraken and the Bruins in the finals. I'm not making brackets anymore.
Look, we could talk hockey all day because I have a very in-depth argument for the Kraken on how beneficial their original draft was after absolutely getting lambasted by the majority of pundits for doing poorly, but then they were able to pick up Matty Beniers and stuff like that. I do think the Shane Wright thing was fucking terrible, by the way, but that's beside the point. Anyway, whose shirt?
Yours, probably. Seeing Avenged Sevenfold.
Tommy.
There you go.
When?
If we talk about Avenged Sevenfold, I'm gonna hurt Ethan's feelings. So
I'm just gonna leave the stream.
Fuck you. Anyway.
By the way, Reed mentioned about being back in the football. See, absolutamente see. I'm not going there. We're not. Real Madrid just got eliminated yesterday. I'm very upset about it. They would have won the Champions League this year. It's fine. Colosso!
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, by the way, I wanted to thank you for coming on to episode 2 of It's Just Wrestling, your new 10th favorite pro wrestling podcast.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for having us on there.
Listen, I'm not just it's not just my good looks and my boyish charm. I want to spread the wealth, spread the love of professional wrestling, and having you guys on there made all the sense in the world. So it was fun to have you on.
It's really nice when you can love professional wrestling, isn't it?
Ooh, not speaking of professional wrestling, the first professional wrestling thing we've done in the first 5 minutes of this show. So I saw this 51 minutes ago. This on Ring of Honor television. We're getting Samoa Joe versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
my god! Thank God I adjusted my dick real quick.
So
before I
Zack
got
Sabre
that boner.
Jr. apparently he beat AR Fox to retain the New Japan TV title, and then immediately after that he stated how he's the most active and current or most active champion in wrestling today. And then Joe made his way out, said that he only needs or that ROH only needs one TV champion, and then he laid out a challenge for him. So whatever happens, if you want to give me that show at All In, like it's going to happen before then, but that would be an All In match for me.
Yes, please.
This would have been a good match for Collision. This would have been a good time to like do the show that's actually like worth a damn, but it's fine. It's fine.
What can you do?
Who knows? Maybe we're going to get some fuckery and the match isn't going to happen and they're going to draw the thing out.
I still don't feel compelled to buy ROH. Is that bad?
No. What else is our background? Are you talking about like our background or Russ's background where he looks like he's in like fucking what's that play? Black Mesa or whatever from
I mean, I can just do this real quick.
that's the background.
Or is
That's
it just
bad.
because I spoke Italian to start and then Spanish?
Oh, that background.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, guten Abend. Herzlich
I'll tell
willkommen
everyone.
on a
First
Forklift
thing I did
podcast.
after we had the Alberto Del Rio promo was make sure that Russ was actually Latino, even a little bit.
You mean Andrade El Idolo?
He's good. He is good
I
close
think-
friends with Andrade.
I think that Sammy is what you call a puss. Anyway,
That's the
And
feud I
Boots.
want to see.
Boots.
Like, you want to talk about ending feuds because we were just talking about it on Russ's show about how CM Punk, the Elite, they all really need to grow the fuck up.
Mhm.
Is essentially what we spent an hour talking about.
Mhm.
But we talked about Dynamite, and I didn't get to say
Yeah.
one thing. We got a Sammy Guevara squash match, and I was like really okay with it.
But here's my thing. Fuck, Ethan. You always derail me. God damn it. Stop interrupting me.
babyface Sammy.
Like, you want to talk about like the fucking thing where like they need to grow up. I want to see Andrade versus Sammy. I want to
That'd be
see
very
that
fun.
match so fucking bad. It almost
I'm so
hurt.
excited. I'm so excited to have Andrade back. All right.
I am too.
I know, listen, I know that when he speaks, there is a little bit of the gravel in the mouth, like he had a hard time enunciating.
Right. It's actually kind of weird. I'm going to break down a little Spanish dialect thing here. Andrade has this weird thing that happens with his Spanish. That's almost Castilian because Castilian Spanish, Castellano, is where they do the theta, that Barcelona.
What up, B-roll?
And when Andrade speaks, he doesn't always do it, but he sometimes lazily falls into thetheo. And he starts doing this whole like,
I don't know if I think I'm in the position to do this.
and you're like, that doesn't make sense for his region and for his dialect. I'm still trying to understand why it happens. What are you wearing?
And we were talking about football.
Is that a German national team?
Yeah.
Ja,
I
das
found
ist die
this in my closet.
Mannschaft.
I have no idea where it came from. I opened my closet. I sent Kevin a message. I was like, yo, bro, does this drip? And he was like, yeah. So
My assumption is because it's Puma in German, it probably came
Like-
from Argentina. Deep cut.
Hunting Hitler on
I've
that's right.
seen all 3 seasons of it.
I have
Let's
too.
go.
It was a great show. It was
bro,
a great
okay, guys.
show.
Guys, I have a show to recommend to you. It's 6 episodes, 5 minutes apiece.
Oh.
It's called A Cautionary Tale of Swords. And I watched this last night during family time with my girl and her friends and all that shit. We were watching that while playing the new Zelda game.
I heard
And-
nude Zelda game, and I was
The
very
nude.
I heard
concerned
new
about
Zelda
what
game as well.
they're allowing
new
on
Zelda
Nintendo
game.
Switch these
Well, you
days.
start nude in that game because, like, I
Yeah.
didn't have pants or a shirt for a while, but like we were watching this shit and it was just fucking amazing. It's 5 minutes apiece, and some of that shit has been stuck in my head. Like, oh shit, I lied. I don't know why, but that's stuck in my head now from now until eternity.
For some reason, it sounded like somebody was running past my house with the coconuts doing the Monty Python thing.
Blackpool Combat Club versus Los Ingobernables would fuck so hard. You can't tell me Moxley and Andrade can't put together a match. But we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about AEW, because if you want to hear us talk about AEW, please do us a favor and go check out It's Just Wrestling. We'll talk about what Ethan wants to, because he missed half the show. But go check out episode 2 of It's Just Wrestling, where you can hear us all talk about this past week's Dynamite, the CM Punk coverage, all the shit with the Elite. We will touch on the Rollins and AJ Styles title match a little bit here, because we only talked about it for a few minutes over there before we transitioned over here. But that's what you got to look forward to. Plus, we're going to go over FU Wrestling show this past Friday, because it was to hype up their next show. It was a banger. And oops for the next show.
Yeah. Those two know. Andrade, Cesaro.
It would be the most incoherent lead up. Can you put that comment back up? I just imagine this for a second, right? Here are the promos. All right. This is what it will sound like.
Juan Moxley, I cannot help but feel like you are having a hard time. A lot of things are happening.
And then you're going to hear,
well, I'm going to tell you something, man. I got the blood. I got blood flowing through me, man. And I got bones that I got to break, man. You know, they say that if you take a man's spleen and you bite into it raw, that proves you're a man. And we are the real men.
Hey, someone get this piece of shit out of the audience.
I thought about, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought about fucking gigging while I was off camera. I'm just coming back. But then I'm like, we're getting pulled immediately.
That's true. Yeah. Like that would be a horrible buildup. That would be absolutely horrific.
Ooh, I'm fat. That winded me.
Top 3 Andrade matches going
that
forward.
I've seen or that I want to see.
No. Book 3 opponents for Andrade on Collision.
Oh, easy. His first return feud is Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
That's easy. The story's already there. Right before Andrade got injured, he was supposed to have a match with Sammy for their big feud. Never fucking happened. Second, that was exactly who I was going to say next, Reed. Commander. I think a Commander feud would be great. It would give great exposure to Commander, and I think Andrade could do wonders with him, because Andrade's great. And then my third feud would be Bryan Danielson.
I like the Danielson. I can get behind the Guevara. I don't think the Commander helps.
I want to kind of keep him, like, for the first two. I want him working the more lucha style that he's good with, because he's fantastic when he's got small guys to work with.
How about Rey Fenix?
So I kind of want to keep the tag teams together. Danielson is the exclusion because he's in a stable. He's been a singles wrestler since he's pretty much been there. And same with Guevara, except when he was, because I don't really even think he's a part of the JAS anymore. It really doesn't feel like it. And then I feel Commander would, like, those matches would fuck like that. If you open a pay-per-view with Andrade and Commander, good fucking luck to everyone else following that.
I'm gonna say Sammy, because I think it needs to happen. It's the one that makes the most sense. I'm gonna say Wardlow, holding the title, because you're bringing somebody different into the conversation. It's not Hobbs, Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Christian, rinse, repeat. Because you've already moved Sammy and Darby out of that realm. And then if we want to stick with the lucha style, I think it's got to be Roosh again. I just like those guys. They work well together. But you need Ibrahante, or whoever it is. Was it Ibrahante that does the
Alex Abrahantes?
Yeah. You need that, and then you need, like, there's got to be 2 guys. Like, we need translators here. Fuck. This is gonna be. I can't do it. This is dumbass booking, in my opinion. Like, real fucking stupid booking. Andrade comes back. Nobody wants to work with him, right? And this is where one of those things, Russ, like, this is one of those goofball things where it's like the best friends are like, they're not going to be his guys to help him. They're going to help him find somebody to work with him.
It's going to be Thunder Rosa, is it?
No,
Oh.
it's Danhausen. Danhausen translates for him. And Andrade's sitting there going, I do speak some English. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Russ, you tell me what to do in this situation.
There's a clip to play. Just play it.
Sure. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Shut the fuck up!
Was that the right one?
That was the right one.
I booked TP Tom, okay? TP Tom is my creation.
That was so offensively bad.
Yeah.
But, okay, I'm sorry.
We've seen a lot of shit bookings on this show.
You're right. We're talking about AEW, not Ring of Honor. That would only fly in Ring of Honor. So, no, I mean, there's a decent amount of people that I would like to see him work with. I think that those three are my guys. I really see me and Wardlow. Those would be my top two to see him work against.
I just listen. Can I just say this really quick? Ethan, what you just booked is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in that booking were you even close to anything that could be considered rational thought. Everyone on this stream is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Like, if that happens,
I'm gonna go home and lay on my couch and put lipstick on and write a list of people to shoot.
like, if there goes the stream. Listen,
Yeah.
if
In Minecraft,
I'm having such a hard time with that idea. Danhausen's gonna help Andrade find an opponent. You want to kill Collision?
I need Russ to say that.
What? Oh, he is gone, but I do fight. I do daughter, so I fight for honor. That is pretty good. That's pretty good. Like, Ethan, I cannot tell you how upset I am with that booking idea.
And see, that's the thing. It's not gonna be.
I have fought with Clint about like Yoshi wrestling and about Riho.
Joshi
and about,
wrestling.
Joshi. Joshi wrestling and Riho and Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole's physique and like all that stuff.
Oh, sweet.
I had merits.
Danhausen helping Andrade find an opponent for his first or second feud.
Danhausen being his translator.
What the fuck? It's even worse.
That's the point. Look, here's my thing. I'm not high on Andrade. I just don't. He doesn't fit to me. He didn't fit in WWE. He doesn't fit here. He doesn't fit, and I don't know why. But he's one of those guys that he doesn't fit to me. He's Baron Corbin, but in AEW. He's got in-ring skills. There's just not a fit for the guy. For
Russ, do you want to go back to your channel?
Yeah, I'm gonna set up a StreamYard. Clint, we'll go over there real quick.
All right. All right.
Take it for what it's worth, and take it for what you will. But I just don't.
I love comedy in my wrestling. I would just be sitting at the TV going, "What? Why? Why is this happening?" Just imagine. Here, hold on a second. Russ, do me a favor. Say anything in Spanish.
Murciélago.
You see what my associate here has said is that God, I don't want to say that, Andrade. It's a bad word.
It means bat.
Cursing.
It means bat.
Yes.
Like a flying bat.
Auf Deutsch, Fledermaus. So,
Like a flying bat.
see, I don't even know how we get back on track.
Bro, we've been on this for like 10 minutes now.
Here's the thing with Andrade. You brought Andrade in to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
But then after that, you brought Rush in to play the exact same character, but be better in the ring. And that's where you lost me on Andrade. You brought in a lot of these CMLL guys, AAA guys, whatever. And I was like, okay, they're really fun and they're really good in the ring, but I'm always going to gravitate towards Penta and Ray. And then like on a lesser thing, like when they would bring in like Laredo Kid and shit like that, like, okay, cool, I'm here. Commander. I think Commander fits there because there's a spot for him. He's not supposed to be this big deal. They made Andrade to be a big deal. You put him with the Hardy family office, and just none of it worked. Maybe the solution here is that fucking Matt Hardy just shouldn't be in wrestling anymore. Maybe that's the solution, because it seems like everybody they've put with him has just been drugged down to the fucking dregs. Like that, to me, that's how it feels. We're getting to that point. You've done it with Private Party, who were, when they first came on the scene, yes, they were green, but they were very entertaining. And what's seemingly the future of the AEW tag division. What are they doing now? One's injured and one is wearing kickwear with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy doing tapings at the Hardy family compound in fucking Hickory, North Carolina.
I disagree with you on Andrade. Andrade is one of the best bases for a lucha wrestler that you can have. He's great. He showed that in all of his matches with Rey Mysterio. He wasn't the guy doing the high-flying moves. He's a base. He's a hard striker. And I think that, like, to compare him to Rey Fenix and Pentagon is unfair, because those guys are luchadors.
Yep.
Those guys are doing flips. They're fucking diving off of shit. They're doing fancy shit. Andrade is great. He's like Japanese strong style, but he's a part of AAA. Like when he does that fucking cork elbow where he steps through and just back elbow. I remember the first time I saw it. That was the coolest shit I ever saw. I love that thing. And I love Andrade. I think he's great. I think he needs to be paired up with better people. I don't think he's ever going to have another pairing in his career like he had with Zelina Vega. If they could somehow get Zelina Vega as his mouthpiece, that's the dream.
Here's my thing.
But do they have anybody who's even comparable in AEW that could serve that? There's almost part of me that wants to see them do something that they lean into like a legend, the way that they do so well with legends. I wish they had somebody who was like very clearly the guy or the woman to get Andrade to the next level and serve as the mouthpiece. And like, remember, a year and a half ago, it was supposed to be Ric Flair. And then the Dark Side of the Ring thing happened. Well, go ahead.
Get him in a suit. I don't care. Dress him as like fucking Latino Mafia. Konan's
not going to work there.
He's worked there before.
Yeah,
but Conan, if you're talking,
yes,
like
Conan would be the you're right. That
Conan would be the guy.
That would be
like
perfect.
Just have him straight up come up like he's, instead of wearing the bandana, he's wearing a fedora. He comes up with like the whole Don thing where he just like he matches Andrade's look. And every time Andrade says something, Andrade only speaks Spanish. From here on out, I don't want to hear another fucking lick of English out of him.
The thing is that his Spanish is also just kind of like wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Mark
Jindrak?
The way that his English sounds like mush-mouthed, so does his Spanish. It's very strange.
Is that Mark Jindrak? He's dead. I'm confident Mark Jindrak's dead.
You know who's somebody who like can speak, but also has that gravitas? You could bring in Homicide.
Okay,
Homicide Hernandez, like one of those guys. So like an old LAX guy.
Well, Homicide showed up at the first Arthur Ashe show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Jindrak has not been involved in professional wrestling in over 5 years.
It's almost a shame that Santana and Ortiz had a falling out, because that would have been pretty cool. Andrade with what were they called? Pride and Powerful?
Proud and Powerful.
Proud and Powerful. Yeah. Not Pride and Prejudice. So
yeah,
I like Andrade. I do. I like him. I don't think he's this even goes back to when he first debuted, didn't have music. Vicky Guerrero, then Chavo Guerrero, like I don't know.
You know, Vicky really was fucking the wrong dumb. Choice. This is going to be another dumb one, and you could say it, but it would be a guy that, like, if they showed him rubbing shoulders, not being out there on camera. Unfortunately, he just returned to WWE. It's a Savio Vega type guy.
Okay, that's a better answer. Okay, we
All
were
right,
prepared for the worst.
You were prepared for me to say like Danny Trejo, right?
Yes,
I
kinda.
honestly thought you were gonna say like Hornswoggle with the sombrero. So anything.
No,
El
no,
Torito.
you need
Yeah.
somebody who is like, you need somebody that if you're going to play off of the Hispanic Hispanic descent origin, you need somebody that's a name in that field. The problem is you start running into an issue where these guys are either signed somewhere or dead, or they're Chavo Guerrero, and you don't want Chavo Guerrero as your guy. You do not want that because he's, yes, Reed, thank you. Scum. It's just, man, I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to pick a mouthpiece for someone when they've had the perfect mouthpiece before.
Yeah.
It's really hard. There was no better mouthpiece for Andrade than Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
Oh, fresh cart. All right, let's move on from Andrade. We've been on this for a minute.
Yeah. Carry
Let's
on.
let's talk about
Miro.
first of all, we've got a surprise for you all.
Miro.
What was that?
Miro.
Not that. We have a surprise for you all watching. If you go over to our YouTube channel after the show is over, you can catch a match from FU Wrestling Presents. It's going to be May. Jeremiah has so graciously let us upload the World Heavyweight Championship match between Adam Wick and 12 Gauge. And when I tell you, it's a fucking masterclass of a match. It is. Those two tore the fucking house down, and they were the mid-main event. I can't recommend that match enough. Please go check it out on our channel as soon as you're done watching this tonight. After that, let's talk about what else is going on that we haven't covered already in the hour and a half
If we just real quick, Reed, if we haven't said it, feel free to drop it in there and we'll let you know if we'll put it on air or not.
Yeah. So WWE, they've done their first 2 weeks of the draft so far. And after Backlash, I mean, we're 2 weeks out from that, which was a landmark pay-per-view for the WWE. I recommend they have Backlash in Puerto Rico every single year. But this week they kind of had a return to normalcy because Raw wasn't really that great. I know Seth Rollins is off filming a movie, but you should really have your world champion, your a guy competing for the world championship on your TV, on your show. Thoughts?
I was gonna go to Ethan there first.
I mean,
All right.
yeah.
You guys talk about whatever. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree. Here's my thing. I have a problem talking Raw because Raw continues to disappoint. You have a really good pay-per-view, and then it's just fucking disappointment for 3 hours on Monday night. I don't need to watch Raw because I can catch all 5 minutes of it that's important on Twitter after the fact. SmackDown's a little different. SmackDown, I tend to try to tune into SmackDown as much as possible because I like the stuff that's going on. Plus, it just feels more important.
Fine, let's cover FU. Let's go over it with Russ. Because Russ wasn't there. But we can fill in on Russ on all the good shit from that show. Are you interested in that, buddy?
You can do whatever you want. It's your show.
Okay.
You want to tell me about it? I'll listen. Do I have anything to say? No.
Jeremiah is not here. I don't know where he is tonight. He's probably
He's busy.
Probably still recovering his asshole. Which, speaking of which, let's pull up that. Ow, fuck. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you can. I was just going to bring up the it's going to be May overlay while you're doing that.
Yeah.
I love the spelling. I love the spelling of gray. Grey. That is how that word is supposed to be spelled.
That's I spell it the Queen's English or the King's English now, I guess. That is how it is spelled.
Gray is so
dumb. It hurts me.
Physically pains me.
It's G-Ray.
G-Ray. That's right.
I don't like it. I can't stand it. It hurts. But yes. So there was a lot of shit that happened on that show.
I'm pulling up the punishment from Jeremiah because I said I would show it live. I would show it today. We showed it on our quiz show this past week, but if you didn't tune into that, go watch the replay. We had a round that lasted over almost an hour, Russ.
Wow.
Our final, that whole, fucking say names until you don't know it anymore. Yeah, that went for almost an hour. So everyone, I'm just plugging in my headset real quick. We're going to present to you the Hot Chip Challenge from Jeremiah. So here we go. I'm sorry, I'm such on fucking delay of this. It won't let me upload it to here to just show it.
But 2 death chips. And hold up his end of the bargain.
I love that you called Trev Big Dick.
Oh yeah, that's
See, everyone, Trevor is happy and healthy. He's fine.
Hold on. Just to let you know, I've seen Jeremiah put a lot of dirty ass things in his mouth. Hold on, listen. Here is probably the worst. There's bread. It's a sandwich. It's a fucking sandwich. We said sandwich. I think these are like 5,000 Scoville. I don't know what.
5 million. Or 2 million.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
disgusting.
I do just want to remind you, he did do the hot wing challenge up in Standish.
Don't talk about Standish here.
Fuck Standish.
Speaking of Standish, Standish is out, and our friends at XICW are now going to Marine City. But that's on May 20. Also, May 27, XICW is bringing in none other than Kurt freaking Angle.
I think the drink of Monster made it worse for him.
I don't know, but you know what? He made it through, and that's the important thing.
Hey, TV Thomas, you might want to bring some of that toilet paper back out for your boy.
Ethan's creation.
Oh, give it up for you, loser, Jeremiah.
It was painful.
That was painful to watch, but also it was really funny going to an entire golf outing with him the next day with him just complaining about how much he was hurting. Mm-hmm. Which you can find little clips from our golf outing out on our Instagram page. We uploaded them there. But FU Wrestling Presents It's Gonna Be Me was another successful event from FU. I can't think of a dud spot on the card. Can you, Ethan?
Oh, no, not really. I think one of the most damaging things I've ever seen is when Riker from Grim Reality absolutely fucking destroyed Aaron Ashura.
I can pull up that footage.
Yeah, Russ, you're going to actually enjoy this one as to how hard this kid gets hit. It's with some vigor. Now, mind you, this guy, his tag team partner is currently out of action with a torn ACL. And so it's unfortunate because these guys are monsters when they're together. So he's trying his hand at singles wrestling now.
Okay.
Keeping the name out there. And we will have them on the show at some point. We're going to have an interview with both members of Grim Reality.
After our soft reset.
Yes.
So here you go, Russ. It was very violent. And while I've got you guys here, I'm going to remove this so no one has access to my fucking Facebook page. Give me 1 second. I would like to show you guys a choke slam from fucking Jamie Eternal.
Oh, I saw this.
Oh, I know you saw this, but I want everyone to see it.
No, God, no! Come on!
Oh, God, that man has a family.
Exact quote from Jamie Eternal after this. Fuck them kids. Because Xander's all of like 18. So
that was,
I don't think it hurt.
That's up there with like Lesnar chokes, Undertaker choke slamming Lesnar as one of the best choke slams I've ever seen. which that was the match that kicked off the show. It was Alex Van Zant versus Xander Bennett. And Alex Van Zant won with one of the most vicious looking pedigrees I've ever seen. He calls it the "You're Dead-agree." And instead of just hooking the arms, jumping up and jumping down like a pedigree, he does the Randy Orton thing where he throws your legs up on the second rope and then he does the pedigree from there. It's so good.
It was very good. I can't even. I love indie wrestling, like especially when those small shows that are happening, but they get a little bit bigger because released today,
Oops, All Bangers 2.
the poster for Oops All Bangers 2, which mind you is not going to be in the same area. No, nay, I say.
Nay.
Instead of a
Watch me
bar.
nip- nay.
Yeah, there you go. Instead of a bar, we're at a folding warehouse. We have a copious amount of space. Should be approximately 4 rows of chairs around, or 4 rows of chairs plus standing room, whatever, big enough for a ladder match, which is going to happen. A fatal 4-way ladder match between the outset, consisting of Jason, the 24 Karat Lion, Jeremiah Goldmain, and TP Tom, along with they are facing Studio 86, friends of the show, as well. I believe they are also facing Forever Young and Jason DeMilo, and legendary team creators of the Spanish Fly, the SATs, the Spanish announce team, is coming into town for that match. So that is for the best tag team forever tag team tournament ladder match to win the best friends forever bracelets.
I don't like those ladders. Those ladders do not look safe.
We've also got.
They look like there'd be an OSHA complaint if you try to climb those ladders.
We've also got Great Tiger, who won the first pinfall in the main event to secure the FU championship match against Adam fucking Wick. Also happening, the People's Champion championship match. DBA won the second fall, so we have DBA and Chip versus LaDon Sanders. We've also got appearances from Anthony Katia. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Solo, Shotgun, Dread King Logan, Congo. There's going to be so much more other matches announced. You have Tommy Vendetta versus Dean Hendricks in a hardcore match. You're going to have your first mixed tag match in FU wrestling and a mixed tag hardcore match with Maximilian and Heather Blue taking on Marcus Porter and Ray Larson. Oops All Bangers 2 is going to be a fucking fun show. We're going to be there. I don't know. Jeremiah said we're going to do something there, so I'm just waiting to hear from him.
Oh, I kind of have insight.
Ooh.
We'll talk off cam.
Yeah. So the other thing.
Hold on. One more thing before you go there. Bree, it is required for you to be at that show because we have a surprise for you and we have a video that we need Bree there to record. So you need to come to that show. As the 4-Post Massacre champion, you must appear.
I'll actually be at that show to present the award to Bree.
The best champion in 4-Post Massacre history.
And then he's going to cash in. So, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, Russ, listen to this stipulation on how this main event shook out. It was a reverse elimination match. So, if you won the first pinfall, the person that you pinned was not out of the match. You were out of the match, and you got the prize, the first prize. So there's 4 people in this match. It was the Great Tyga, the Michigan's Most Dangerous Man, DBA, Tommy Vendetta, who is a top 25 ranked deathmatch wrestler in the world, along with just being a fucking awesome wrestler in general, and Solo. So how this works, Solo is basically, I think, the anime aerialist or aerobatic. I apologize, Solo. Yeah, he does a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff. Anyways, cool. So how it worked, though. Actually, we saw one of those with toilet paper at the beginning of the show. So the way that this worked is, the winner of the first pinfall got to face the champion. So that was the Great Tyga. The winner of the second pinfall got to face
People's
the
champion.
People's Champion, who is LaDon Sanders. That was DBA and Chip, which somebody made entrance music for.
I
You can go watch the show. It's on Wrestling Rage's YouTube channel if you really
hate that I made
really want to
that.
know what happened.
I
Then
don't like
the
this.
winner of
I
the
don't
third
like,
pinfall
I don't like this.
got a place. So the winner of the winner of the final pinfall got a place in the 6-man we blew all of our money scramble.
Okay.
And the winner of that, I believe, gets a title shot at Adam Wick after this. Then the last place person, which happened to be Tommy Vendetta, I'm not spoiling anything, absolutely fucking snapped and challenged Dean Hendricks to a hardcore match.
Oh shit! Speaking of devil,
Speaking of him, hey, we're just recapping FU.
Oh, word, where are we at?
we're talking about the reverse battle royal, the reverse fatal four-way.
Your brain to Russ.
Oh, yeah, so my idea was if you win, right, like first, you should just be done because you won. Like, that makes all the sense in the world. And then everybody else should keep fighting because they didn't win. And, like, not having to wrestle longer was also a prize, but we didn't emphasize that.
Yeah, but I liked it. I liked it. Like Ethan said, I had to make entrance music. That was fun.
You had to make the most important entrance music in the history of Michigan independent wrestling.
It popped the fuck out of me, I'll tell you that much.
Right. So
and we cannot play it here. So if you want to see it, go check out the show at Wrestling Rage.
So let's do a slight rundown on this really quickly.
Sure.
There's a lot happening in Michigan Independent Wrestling over this weekend. So I have brought up a list of shows that are taking place this weekend. Jeremiah is going to be on some of them.
I'm on 2 of them.
So May 19th, Mr. Chainsaw in Kalkaska, Michigan is happening. May 19th also has Horror Slam, and May 19th also has New Edge Pro in Taylor, Michigan.
Horror Slam versus GC Dub.
Horror Slam versus GC Dub 4. Your boy down there in the corner is taking on GCW mainstay Cole Radrick.
Yeah, the Wild Heart, Ratty Daddy. He has
that gentleman right there wearing the Dale Earnhardt-esque shirt in the middle of it. That's going on Friday night. However, if death matches really aren't your thing, you can go see New Edge Pro, which has got Effie versus TJ Meyer for the New Edge Pro Heavyweight Championship.
I've fought Effie before.
That's taking place at Taylortown Trade Center. And then back to where we were on this list, because there's enough things going on. May 20th, Metro Pro Wrestling is live from Wyandotte, Michigan. We will not be broadcasting either Horror Slam or Metro Pro this weekend. We are busy. UPW is taking place in Iron Mountain, which is the complete opposite side of the state. We have SCW in Owasso, and then we had on the 20th, but but we do have SCW. I think I have a flyer for that somewhere. Yes, right here. We have SCW. Dean Hendricks, who we were just speaking of, he'll be on that show along with Jamie Eternal, Davison Sarai, and Sabbath. And then GCW itself is going to be in Detroit with The Way I Am. I believe that is the name of the show. We also have May 20th is IPW in Springfield, and May 20th is also the XICW/Chaos crossover show in Marine City, Michigan, which the Worlds Collide match I'm looking forward to out of this is MM3 versus the X Division champion Trey Miguel. And then May 21st, we've got Lethal Lucha in Battle Creek, which I think has Dan Severn at it. This is probably the only show I'll actually be able to make it to this weekend, so... It's at a strip club.
A gentleman's club, I believe, is what they call it.
Yeah, it's called the Vegas Strip. So you're
the
correct.
Vegas Gentleman.
Jeremiah, where are you going to be at this weekend on those shows?
I'm at GC Dub fighting Ratty Daddy, Wild Heart, Cole Radrick. Then I will be at XICW versus Chaos, Worlds Collide. I'm representing the Chaos side, even though I'm also a mainstay at XICW.
Proving Ground Season 9? Question mark.
Well, so my loyalties lie in both, but the paycheck was bigger from another. So, like, you can buy my loyalty real quick. It's not hard. And Chaos gave me more money, so that's where I'm
DBA.
at. The DBA runs XI.
Yep.
I love the DBA. He's my own, but he always told me, "Get that buck, son." So
Chase that paper. But yeah, as
Got
Ethan
you.
touched on earlier, we will not be broadcasting Horror Slam tomorrow night anymore. We apologize for anyone that was going to tune in for it. Sorry. And MPW we will not be broadcasting because it is the same day as Samantha's birthday party. And we will always put our Forklift Queen above anything wrestling related. Again, sorry. We will be returning to MPW for, I believe it's the July 1st show. We will be broadcasting that.
Yep.
As for Horror Slam right now, balls up in the air.
So, yeah, there's those things. And like I said, there's 2 shows in Owasso. Go see the one that starts with SCW. I'm not playing favorites in that thing, but I'm just letting you know that there's some FU mainstays. And being that FU is our favorite local indie promotion, you should probably go watch those FU mainstays.
Hey, Vlad.
Vlad, glad to see you. I do have.
I will probably pop in for the Effie event, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, and if you can make it cool. Basically, what I'm saying is there's shit ton of wrestling around Michigan. Go check it out.
If I don't go see Fast and Furious 10.
wait, is that coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
You want to go to the movies tomorrow afternoon?
No, I gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I haven't
Yeah.
even seen, like, all right, listen.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
The only Fast and the Furious movie I have legitly sat all the way through and watched is the one that doesn't even count.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. And
It's the best
it was
one.
and I thought it was really good. And then I was told that none of the other ones are that movie. And I was like, oh.
They involve the boys from there. It eventually becomes canon.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're in it. Like, I know they're canon, but all the other movies are more like Ocean's 11 with cars versus racing movies.
I mean, LT fights with me all the time. LT is the moderator of our channel. Him and I fight all the time about he doesn't believe Tokyo Drift is the best one. He dies on the hill that it's the original Fast and Furious that is the best one.
No, it's Tokyo Drift.
It's Tokyo Drift.
Movie.
There's 4 people sitting in a room right now saying
Jeremiah.
It's Tokyo Drift.
Jeremiah, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, somebody said, Clinton, you watch Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said every time I've ever been in the bedroom is what they call it. Fast and Furious. That's what the ladies call it about Clinton Davis. Yeah. Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Sex at 33 is a sprint, not a marathon.
I'm slow and disgruntled.
Fuck. I hate when he says funny shit. It almost makes up for the dumb shit he says.
Oh, hey, Jeremiah, by the way, that question was actually me. I was wondering if I could get in the Green Kid Scramble and get my ass kicked.
Maybe. I'm booking it now.
I know you are.
Fuck y'all. First is
We'll
the
talk.
best. Tokyo
We'll talk
second.
about that.
We can talk about that.
We can talk. We'll talk about that off camera. I do have a question back on the mainstream wrestling thing here. There's a pay-per-view coming up, and it's not Night of Champions. That's happening in a month and a week, and we don't know shit about it because we're basically waiting until after Double or Nothing. What do we think? We got a couple options to happen here at Forbidden Door because once again we're running up on a pay-per-view with
Kenny
no
Omega and
fucking goal.
Ospreay is going to headline that pay-per-view.
Orange Cassidy is going to take on
Naito.
Toru Yano.
I want Naito. Guido? You think he's going to take on Guido?
Riho. He's going to take on Riho. Yeah.
That could happen.
I think FTR versus
Aussie Open.
Aussie Open's going to happen.
Does anybody care about Kyle Fletcher taking on Orange Cassidy for this title?
I want Jade Cargill versus Maki Ito.
Please and thank you.
No, I think honestly, if you're gonna have that match happen, it's not gonna be Maki at Forbidden Door. It's gonna be Jade versus Monet.
Yeah, but hear me out. I want Maki Ito. I like you're acting like I'm trying to. Get,
I'm not
like, a banger
opposed.
match.
I'm not opposed to it because it's a throwaway paper.
Russ is sitting here going, "Ask me if I'm opposed."
Like every match, everybody's pitching is a banger, right? I don't need a full card of bangers. I do need my one. And if the Lord of Shit's on a flyer, people go watch.
You know what? Hold on. While you're open-minded to everything, I want Ethan to explain to you what he came up with earlier for how to book Andrade when he comes back for Collision. I want you to hear what Ethan came up with.
Okay.
Okay, so it was book 3 opponents for Andrade, right?
Okay.
That you could see. So first off, I think we're all in agreement that Sammy Guevara is the A1 pick to face Andrade because the story is already there.
Stuff. And then we also said Bryan Danielson could be a good one down the road.
But I said Wardlow as my number 2 pick because I kind of like inserting Andrade into the TNT title. My third one, though, went completely off the fucking wall, and it's Andrade needing a translator, and no one will work with him, so the best friends reach out to him and set him up with Danhausen as an interpreter. I'm waiting for him to drive into an embankment.
It's really good.
Here, let me just do this real quick so that way everyone knows where the sides lie in this.
Man, so I don't hate that because, so hear me out. I like, not popular opinion, right? But like, AEW is just a really well-funded indie, right? And that's some indie shit right there. But it's entertaining as shit, and like realistically, it's gonna get over and garner TV time, and that's a company where everybody thinks important matches, like, oh man, we gotta go out and have a 5-star classic every single match. But like TV time matters, and that will garner TV time every time.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
spinning a globe to figure out where I'm going to send Jeremiah and Ethan with this bullshit.
Well, like, what do you like? All right,
you guys landed on Angola. I hope you like Angola.
Here's my honest question.
Don't they have good wool from there?
Sorry, Lobito. Sorry, Lobito. Lobito. Lobito in Angola.
Because we've had Andrade booked in serial storylines since he got there, and it's really not done anything because, again, if you're not a member of the Elite, they have like a 10-second fucking attention span for you.
Yeah. Russ, you want an edible?
No. So I don't see why we can't do the comedy bit because that seems to at least get you TV time.
Well, they have, but the thing is, that it's going to be a 2-hour show that they're supposed to be making an A show with Dynamite, right? So he theoretically, as one of the anchors who's on all the creative for it, should be getting weekly time on that program. So he shouldn't have to do comedy to get time going forward, right? So I think you're better off going with a legend. That was my point before. I don't see who it is. I think it was Clint's the one who threw out the idea of like Conan, which would be really cool. But if they put Andrade with Danhausen, like I'm out. I'm just out.
Russ is going to retire from wrestling.
I don't
commentating.
think that's going to happen.
I would rather see Maki Ito show up and squash Jamie Hayter than whatever the hell that would be.
So, by the way, I know we went through that. I do want to touch on this because I know this has gotten brought up on multiple comments before. So this is my statement on the show, and this is nobody else has to say this. In regards to why we're not doing Horror Slam on Friday, here's the deal. We either don't get paid or we don't get paid a lot of money to do these gigs. And some people on our broadcast team, Trevor, have to take off work to do this. Trevor makes a really good amount of money when he works his regular Friday night job. So if the money is not there, we can't afford to have Trevor, and I was already not going to be there. That is why we're not there. Trevor got a paying gig, and I'm not going to deny that man money because he fucking needs it.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Also, also with all the wrestling that we're involved in now, we sometimes become neglectful of the people in our lives and need to spend some time with them. So I'm taking the night off from wrestling. I'm going to hang out with my girl, and then I'm going to get up the next morning and I'm going to go spend it with his wife, who is like my best friend. Ethan, between you and me, I love your wife more than I love you.
That's fine. I understand.
Yeah. And I want her day to
Ethan,
be amazing.
Ethan.
I don't
Yeah.
want to go ahead.
I was also gonna say I also love your wife more than you.
No, it's acceptable. I would be disappointed in people if they didn't.
But in regards
Fair.
to that, I was told that we weren't going to be doing it anymore, which sucks. I enjoy doing the Horse Slam shows. I really, really do. They're fun. I enjoy being the mouth of Michigan Deathmatch Wrestling. It makes me happy.
Long story short, it was, and this is, I don't care that I'm throwing business out there because it's not anything bad on anybody's side here.
No, it's not.
If we couldn't charge money for it, we can't make money for it. And we were willing to do it without charging people money. Here's the thing. We don't have a way to charge you money. I'm not going to sit there and go, hey, cash at me $10 and I'll send you a link. I'm not going to fucking do that. I think that's a horrible business practice to begin with.
We're grateful that some of you fuckos give us $5 a month.
Yeah, and we don't have, and I'm not going to sit, like, we don't have the fucking gall on YouTube. We're not like It's Just Wrestling. We don't have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube to be able to do pay-per-view things.
We have
which, by the way,
187, and we're proud of everyone.
Even if they have that many, please go give them a follow. It's Just Wrestling on YouTube. You can find him out. He does great on shorts, and he's going to start doing weekly content. And that is this gentleman right down here.
Oh,
we lost him.
That Jeremiah left. But how many subs do we have?
No. He's talking about Russ on YouTube.
Oh. Subscribers don't mean the same thing as they do on Twitch.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right.
If they did, Russ would actually be flying.
He would not be hanging out with us.
Sure, I would.
We would be peasants to him.
No, I'm still hanging out with him. He's got Flyers press credentials. I might talk shit about it, but I still want to go to Philly to see it.
And I'm excited to go to Philly next year for
Mania. I'm not using you for your Flyers press credentials. I just also like talking hockey shit, just in general, with anybody that'll listen.
My fucking 2 weeks of vacation are already spoken for in the first 4 months of the year next year.
I brought an entire fifth of rum up here with the intent to drink it, and we have had good conversation, gentlemen. So I have not had to drink it.
But with the making of the money,
if 5 people subscribe on Twitch or wherever you do subscribing, if 5 people subscribe, he'll drink the entire bottle.
Yep.
You know what? Honestly, I might.
No, that would be a terrible idea. You have a young child and a wife.
10 subscribers. 10
yeah, at least make it 8. 8 subscribers.
But like the things that like you guys are asking, like you guys want t-shirts, money. You guys want us to do more fun things. Believe it or not, getting invited to a Jeter golf outing was not as extravagant as it sounded. There was nothing to do. We didn't meet Tommy Chong. We didn't do shit outside of sit in the parking lot and smoke weed because we went to a weed fair where you couldn't smoke.
There you go.
So if you guys subscribe, it gives us the ability to do more for you. We want to order t-shirts. Those are coming. Ethan's wife has made it very clear those are coming. And we're going to sell them at a price to where we can make a little bit more money off them to order more t-shirts.
This is a question about your weed outing.
No, you couldn't buy. They weren't giving anything out. We sat in the parking lot and smoked a bunch.
He's terrifying. He also might be Fred Durst.
Can I just say, I'm going to say, okay, at the risk of jeopardizing things for you guys. I have no horse in this race. But if you are going to bet on the Preakness this weekend, go over to crossingbroad.com where I'll be writing about it. Anyway, if there's a promotion out there, no matter what size, no matter what scope, no matter what state, no matter what level, if you're going to try to expand your reach and you're going to try to come off more professional, you should pay people, pay them on time, pay them well, and make sure that it's worth their while to do it. And if you don't do it, then you don't deserve that. It's very simple. That's it.
I don't mean to sound cocky. I think I'm pretty good at what I do, and I do bring people who know what they're doing to the table.
But even if you weren't very good at it, it's still a role that's worthwhile being filled. And if somebody's going to take the time to do play-by-play or do color or broadcast the show on YouTube or to do camera work because you had the stationary cam and the remote setup, that's all time. It's all time. Time is worth something. So it's my mere soapbox thing. Where's he going? Is he gonna go take a nap? What's happening?
Need a lighter, goddammit.
Yeah.
No,
Like, it's not complicated. Like I'll tell you this, like on the hockey podcast, like so that show is like, I would argue the biggest Flyers podcast in Philadelphia.
It's the only Flyers podcast.
Oh, it's true. It is the only.
It's the only one I listen to.
But we had a sponsor reach out 8 months ago, and they wanted us to do a live show at no charge. And they thought that we would be happy to do that because it would get our show exposure. No. Like, that doesn't make any sense. People's time matters. Like, it's not complicated. You know, it doesn't matter if you own a promotion and you're doing your matches at a bar or at a VFW or like at a firehouse or like at the fire hall or whatever, where I used to go watch wrestling. Like, if you can afford to run a show and you can afford to pay your talent, or we would hope, then you should be able to also pay a decent fee to people who are going to try to expand your reach on YouTube or on Twitch or wherever the platform is. And if you don't appreciate that or whatever, then, you know, don't get in the business.
We're very transparent with you guys about the ongoings. And look, the real thing is, I didn't want to do the show this weekend because it's Sam's birthday.
Right.
I'm tired
here.
I'm exhausted. I am. And after talking to Rach, she wants to have more people in the venue. So she's just going to not broadcast this one. Also, it could be some shit with GCW. We don't know. We thought there would be some complications involving GCW since they broadcast on Fight TV.
Yeah. And truthfully, what this boils down to in general is we started doing this. We got asked to do this, and we're grateful for the opportunity. I don't want to seem like we're not sitting here, you know, the thanks were handed out for the opportunity that we were given. Let's put it that way. We thanked people, we moved on. So we're at the point now where we've broadcast enough shows that we understand, okay, here we took and we tweaked the big things up front, and now we're just making minor adjustments to make every show better than the last show. We're at the point where the try before you buy mentality has gone out the window now. We're not giving free broadcasts out. And you know what? Honestly, if that means that we don't get another broadcast, then we don't get another fucking broadcast. It's to that point where we've set our worth. We know what we're worth. We know what it costs us to come out and do this stuff. And we're not making bank on it. It's literally just operating costs for the channel. That's all this is. We're not everything, every little bit that we get off of a subscriber, a t-shirt, a show, anything like that, it all goes back into this. None of us are getting rich on this shit. We're doing this to make the presentation better so we can have a better overall product for you to watch. So you don't just have to continue to look at us fuckheads here every single week. Our next purchase, a better camera to do the shows.
The Twitch subscribers paid for WWE 2K23 for my PC. So that way we can record the new shit that we have planned, which I'm going to go over with Russ because I think Russ would have a fucking blast with it.
Yeah. And the other thing, like, so then after that, I'm going to buy a new camera because this looks like I'm looking at you on an iPhone 3. It's, I don't give it, like, here's my thing. I have to look at this in a different world. So here's the deal. And this isn't a problem. Clinton and Trev are not in the business per se. Clinton is now kind of in the business as a voice.
I
as
love
a guy
the business.
who does things. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
I have to be careful as somebody who is looking to take bookings in the future, to not absolutely fucking shatter any kind of reputation by being like, oh, hey, this guy thinks he's worth way more. I have to teeter on that line. My whole thing is, I don't give a fuck if I get paid. I care if the channel gets paid, and I care if the guys that are really putting in the work. I'm walking around a camera with a rig. I'm not talking for 3.5 hours. I'm not making sure the sound is set up right. I'm not the one spending my money to bring my fucking podcaster set up to the arena. I'm bringing a fucking tripod. I'm bringing a selfie stick that's like taped up and shit with a camera on the end of it, and just knowing where to be for these camera angles and not talking the entire time, which honestly, people should pay me to not talk. I fucking talk all the time for free. Like, pay me to shut up.
We have a button to get you to shut up.
It's true.
Exactly. But like, so I'm on a weird spot for it. And I just want to make sure that the show can progress. These guys actually know what they're worth, which they know what they're worth, and that is getting repaid for it. So we're past the exposure point. If we want exposure, we can get exposure. We can pay for fucking exposure on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is. We can pay for shit like that. I don't care. We're going to grow this shit organically. Russ has done a phenomenal job at it. It's,
excuse me.
What we're doing moving forward.
Excuse me. With all due respect, and I genuinely mean all due respect.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
We talked about this part long enough.
That's fine.
Yes. Moral of the story, we're not doing Horror Slam this Friday. We don't know if we're going to be doing Horror Slam again, and we will be back for Metro Pro Wrestling on July 1st.
Which we can't announce something, but there's something we're both very excited about that show, and we have to keep our mouths fucking shut.
I'm going to spoil a surprise right now. 3-man booth, baby. It's me. It's AY. It's Jimmy Davis.
LT, we can tell you off on the side.
Yeah, LT, I'll send you a link so you can pop in and talk to us for a minute afterwards, because I know Russ is going to have some questions after we go off air.
We can't tell you now.
But I don't want to end on that sour note.
If you want us to broadcast the show, we cannot tell you right now.
I wanted to be on the show, so I'm going to pick where I'm going next, and I'm going to land on... Oh, I'm also going to Africa. I'm going to Libya. Oh, well then.
Muammar Gaddafi?
He gone.
How are you guys feeling? You guys feeling like
Coney 2012?
We appreciate everyone listening to us tonight. I don't really know what we were doing at the show. My main focus was making sure that Russ had a good show for May tonight, because we consistently bring you entertaining shit.
We're at the point
sweet.
Like
y'all were so sweet and just so good-hearted, and it means a lot to me.
We're just good, wholesome Christian boys, just trying to make a good name for professional wrestling.
It just means a lot to me that in these unprecedented times, things are so hard, that y'all came onto the show, and y'all tried real hard to bring high-quality content. Hold on, I'm going to go get my tissues. And
I'm really glad I was the highest bidder on your quilt at the quilt sale at the fucking bingo hall.
I gotta tell you, I worked so hard on that, and I've been working on my cross stitching too. And Betty Ann and Mary Sue, they gave me a hard time about how my crocheted snowman last Christmas didn't look very good. That they looked more like they had been melted snowman. More like, Puddle Man. And it just means a lot, guys. It really does. And I just want to thank y'all. It's still real to me, damn it.
I love you so much.
I know.
Sweet.
Dog, I don't know, but if you don't want ads, $5 a month, baby. We're worth it.
Twitch better have my money.
We're worth it for all the high quality content we bring you, even the free content over on our YouTube channel at On a Forklift Wrestling Pod on YouTube, where you can still catch up right now Adam Wick versus 12 Gauge for the FU championship from this past Friday, which was a banger. Which brings me to another thing. We have another announcement, and I told Ethan about it. I haven't told Russ, but I think Russ will have fun with this bit. Starting in June, baby, top 10 lists. Not normal top 10 list. I don't want to do our top 10 matches or the top 10 worst matches or anything involving JBL and the Blue Meanie. I don't want to do it. So we're gonna make
Well, why not? Top 10 people that should have beat JBL's ass.
that. This is a list I'll do because I actually have clips involving LT that involve my top 10. Although my favorite clip with LT was when we were playing PGA and we played on this one random course where he killed a bunch of deer, squirrels, and all that shit with one power drive because they were all lined up perfectly. I died. But regardless of that, my first list is going to be top 10 songs in wrestling video games that aren't the theme songs. Because let's face it, a lot of us discovered bands through wrestling games in our early years. Top 10 opponents Andrade should not fight. That's a good one.
Can I give you really quick, since you brought up the video game thing?
It's all Von Wagner, Bree. We already know your list.
I think a while ago, like as in 2 years ago, we did a show about like the best retro video games or like best video game soundtracks or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone back in the Wayback Machine the last few months, and you cannot convince me that Burnout 3 Takedown for original Xbox doesn't have maybe the best soundtrack in the history of video games. It is truly a sensational list from top to bottom. It doesn't get the respect it deserves, and I am here. Hashtag justice for Burnout 3.
You know what? Fuck it. We've had a lot of downers in this episode. Let's bang it up. Let's revise our top 5 video game soundtrack list.
Do you?
Oh, I'm
have
not.
this-
I wasn't ready for this. I was
Oh,
just.
he's
I
already
was-
he's pulling the cord on you. I want to bring this up really quick. Number 1 through 9
Von Wagner.
is VD. And number
Venereal disease?
might as well be like a menstrual breeze, baby. It was on a millie. It's not
Wow.
my fault. Lil Wayne rapped it. I
Gang,
can't
gang.
tell you. And number 10 is JD McDonough. So
JD Mick, don't Google me. All right,
I'm
guys.
so
Yeah.
upset right now.
Top 5 video game soundtracks revised. It's always good to go and revisit. I'll try to find the episode where we talked about it before. I'm not going to make a whole Canva thing. I'm just going to put it up on a word pad.
You didn't save it to your computer? Wow, what a fucking plan.
Bro, do you know how much fucking space all the stupid shit we do takes up on my fucking computer? I've had to clear hard drives twice. I'm paying Google $10 a month right now to back up a terabyte worth of shit.
You should buy a terabyte hard drive and back it up on there instead.
I've had bad experiences before. I don't trust it. It's like the government. All right.
Soundtracks,
Russ.
by the way, Reed. Soundtracks, not score. We had this discussion because Skyrim wins on score almost every fucking time.
Dark Souls 1.
I'm going to fist fight you through a laptop.
I'm going to start with Russ. Russ, you would say Burnout 3?
I think so.
Burnout 3. And remember, everyone, we can't pick anything that they pick. And please put your top 5 in the comments. We'll flash them up. Ethan, what's your number 1 video game soundtrack?
Oh my god, it's Crazy Taxi.
Okay.
Oh, you son of a biscuit.
I'm going to go with the obvious one, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered.
No, you can't do that. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Nope,
I
not
can.
allowed. No,
It's
no,
one
you're not.
game. It's one
No,
game.
No, no.
Tony Hawk Pro
No.
Skater
No,
1 plus 2 remastered. Russ, your pick.
Tony Hawk 1 for N64.
You can say that. You can say
Yeah.
that.
You know why? Because there are certain tracks that didn't make it to Tony Hawk 1 and 2 that were excellent tracks, which makes Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 the superior soundtrack. Thank you.
Ethan.
I'm trying to make sure I have the correct game, so I want to make sure I have the right year on this. NCAA 2006
Are we talking football
Football.
or basketball?
football.
Okay.
So that is where the first time I ever heard the Pixies was on.
Ooh. Good answer. All right. And you know what? I'm going to give this shout out to fucking 12 Gauge right now for using non-points bullet with a name on it as his entrance theme. because God damn it, if SmackDown versus Raw 2006 doesn't have the best video wrestling soundtrack ever.
It is
SV
damn good.
SVR
And we are
2006.
real quick. We're killing rhythm games on this, like specifically like
No Rock
Band
Band,
stuff.
no Guitar
Okay.
Hero.
I just
This would
wanted to
be-
make sure because otherwise, like that's kind of cheating because Rock Band 2 fucking slaps. It's got Chicago on it. Rock Band 3,
Russ.
sorry.
NBA Street Volume 2.
Oh,
I reminisce. Oh.
good answer. Ethan.
So there's something that is ridiculous about all of these racing games that have really good soundtracks. So I'm gonna double down on Russ's Burnout Paradise remaster.
That was a good one.
That's a good one.
I have a question. If you take me down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty, will you please take me home?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need.
Yeah, I believe it's yeah.
I'm going to flip my next answer over from, because we mainly here are talking about rock music.
That's
yes.
a pretty fucking good one. Are you gonna say Def Jam Fight for New York?
You're goddamn right. I'm going to say Def Jam Fight for New York.
not a
It's
bad
my,
call.
yeah, it's so good. That's the epitome of rap soundtracks. I make another fucking Def Jam, please, and not Icon. Icon sucked.
Wow.
Russ.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sega Genesis.
Okay.
There's some beautiful songs on there. They're iconic. Like if you haven't gone out of your way to try to find live covers of the casino theme.
Wait a minute. Did somebody say Sonic the Oh wait. Did you say Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or Sonic Adventure 2?
He's talking the Sega Genesis one.
Oh, because I thought that he was rolling around
at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Gotta follow my rainbow. Oh, where's Chris Chan?
Jesus Christ. Okay, do I have 2 selections left or 3? Or
You
one?
have 2.
I have 2. Good. Brutal Legend. Put that shit.
Oh, you fucker. You fucker.
There's 107 fucking songs on that. I love that fucking game because it's just ridiculous.
Oh, God. Well, I'm going to take my racing game for the soundtrack. I'm going to go, since you both have talked Burnout, I'm going to go Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
You want to know why? One reason. It is the only reason in the world I have ever listened to Disturbed. The only acceptable song from Disturbed is Decayence. And it better be while you're driving. Russ, your final pick in the 2023 video game soundtrack draft.
I have a really unpopular one, but I can't figure out if I want to go with it or not. Like, it would make no one else's board. Then again, I did just pick Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis.
That
Yeah,
sure
I'm
shit
always
wasn't
on-
making mine.
I'm gonna go with one that, like, if I had to go into battle, right? If I needed to get myself going, I'd pick this soundtrack. Let me read off a few of the tracks. You guys are never gonna guess what the game is. I'm gonna start at the bottom.
I want to know because I love playing these games. You know that. Clint does too.
So the first band has 2 songs on this. They're called Un Loco or Unloco.
Okay.
Panic, Panic, and Nothing. Korashi, Stick 'em Up. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up. Phantom Black, the song Run. Cell Dweller with the song Own Little World.
Ethan, no looking
Degrees-
anything up.
I'm not looking anything up. I
Okay,
literally.
Trevor. 8 Degrees, Clayton Stitched. 303 Infinity, Fear Factor. Digital
I thought you meant like
Assassin,
303.
Digital Assassin's Plague, Digital Assassin's Lock It Down, and the song. And also they did Get Up. But the song, we got Fear Factory, Acres of Skin. But the last one, the song that is the title track, is Fuel by Metallica. And
I
that
got no
game-
idea. Oh my God, Rivet City Radio. Thank you for rating us. We appreciate you.
Oh, hey, holy shit.
This-
Big
What's up,
shout
Will?
out.
This soundtrack came off the game that I got
Hey, what's going
when
on,
I
Will
got
Gray?
when I got the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Test drive off-road wide
Oh.
open.
Speaking of a horrible fucking demo.
It was a great game.
All right. That was a lot.
Great game. You can get the Moon Rover. You could take your vehicles up onto the moon where there was like zero gravity. It was fantastic. What a game.
Ethan, your final pick.
I'm trying to remember which one it specifically was. But we're let's see. I believe it was. That's great. I opened Spotify. That's not what I fucking wanted to do.
Falling apart tonight.
Dude, it's a fucking train wreck. My whole life is a goddamn train wreck.
Tell me about it.
My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an
It was Horizon 3. Forza
of that I'm
Horizon 3.
sure. She's smiling on a subway. She was with another man.
You want to know why Forza Horizon 3 is mine pick out of
Yeah.
the entire group? So Justice, DANCE. I fucking love that song. Every single time it bops to it. And I found it originally. I checked out a CD from a library, and that's where I found it.
How'd that make you feel?
I just a little boppy.
I wanted to say Brutal Legend as my fifth.
You're
Is
welcome.
that? But Russ down there reminded me of a game that no one would ever guess either. And I'll do the same thing he did. I'll pull up the soundtrack for it.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Okay. Here we go. I don't want to open Spotify. Sure, you know what it did? The band The Arkhams with Insane, She's Lost Control. Long Tall Texans with Adventure, Why Did You Lie to Me? Gypsy Pistol Rios with Una Patro. I can't speak that. Switchblade Kiss Comes Close, Switchblade Closer, and Crazed Gypsy Girl Lair.
Is this Gun?
The game is also 3 letters. It's Wet.
Oh, okay.
Little title that only got 1 game. The soundtrack fucked. It was a whole rockabilly theme shit to it. I loved it. I still bump that soundtrack every so often. It's great. Would you guys like me to run down all of our picks in case you have forgotten any of them?
If you would like to be my guest.
Russ came in with Burnout 3, Tony Hawk 1 specifically for the N64, NBA Street Volume 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Genesis, and Test Drive Off-Road Wide Open. Was I right on that last one?
Yes.
Okay. Ethan came in with Crazy Taxi, NCAA Football 2006, Burnout Paradise, Brutal Legend, and Forza Horizon 3. And then my picks were Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, Def Jam Fight for New York, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and Wet.
Yeah. I had an honorable mention for Madden 04, but it was my toss-up between NCAA 06 and Madden 04. Because, man...
Madden 05 was pretty good, too.
Madden, the early 2000s EA games had a really good soundtrack.
From like
NBA
04
Live.
07.
Yeah, NBA Live 04 was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that game.
But I think that's where we're going to sign off for the night, boys. We're all tired. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours at this point.
Have we though?
It doesn't even feel like it.
Well, Ethan showed up late, so he's only been doing it for 2 hours.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which
Ethan,
is
you stay here
which
with
is
people
actually
for-
an improvement for him. I've been told it usually is about 35 seconds. So
Look, man,
good for
just
him.
because I only need 7 minutes, including foreplay and entrances, like that's fine. I hit my theme song when I walked.
He's
into
the
kitchen.
Goldberg of wrestling. He's the Goldberg in the bedroom.
It's Hoochie Daddy season, buddy.
Oh God, I'll never forget being at my cousin Kayla's wedding, and Ethan giving the best man speech, and me looking to my date Kevin and going, "Man, Ethan looks like he's about to give Sam the best 2 minutes of his life tonight." And Kevin, without missing a beat, looked at me and said, "What's he gonna do? Fuck her twice?" And boy, did I almost ruin a wedding speech. I was like grabbing his leg and I was fucking stomping
you
on
weren't-
the floor.
You weren't ruining anything, bud. You weren't ruining that speech at all. I was locked fucking in. I was making jokes about his family. No, we were all set.
That's going to do it for us tonight. We hope you enjoyed us. My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman. To my right is Ethan. You can find him at Jensen Collins 3. Below us, but never beneath us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well,
is Russell Joy. You can find him at Joy on Bride. You can also find him at It's Just Wrestling, where you can catch our first show of the night on his YouTube channel. Replay is already up. You can find us at On a Forklift Pod on Twitter, On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, On a Forklift Wrestling Pod on Twitch, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on UPN. And as always, we love you, Judy.
We love you.
Have a good night, everyone.